Let the games begin.
What is going on, Spotchkaholic? So sorry about that wait, y'all. We had some technical difficulties behind the scenes, but welcome back to good old Spotchka. New profile picture, new stream. We're going to be ranking every single Batman figure, minus some older ones that have gotten obvious 2.0s that we know are better than the older ones. We'll still briefly touch on those if we want to, but I'm very excited to share with you my panel for the night. Let me go ahead and bring them out. He's wearing a Batman hoodie. I think that's pretty fitting. Mr. Ben Thomas, how are you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. Talk some Batman. Of course, I had to rock the Batman hoodie. I am dealing with COVID at the moment, so if you guys see me turn my camera off a couple times, don't fear. I will be back. But thanks for having me either way, buddy. It's awesome.
So
To be
of
here.
course, I'm excited to have you. Even with your COVID and your Friday night, bro. It means a lot to me, bro. I appreciate
Heck yeah,
you.
man. Heck
Hopefully,
yeah.
vengeance heals you tonight. My next guest, you know him as the Jedi's Night Watch, Mr. Graham. How you doing, brother?
How's it going, everybody? Thank you for having me on Spotchka. Ben, always a pleasure to stream
See you,
with
buddy.
you. Was really excited to get the invite for ranking Batman figures. It's gonna be really tough since I love them all. It's like picking your favorite food. But
Legit.
yeah, I'm excited to get going. Thank you for having me. Good to see everybody in the chat. Let's talk Batman.
Of course, of course. Before we talk back, man, let's check in with the chat and see which one of you guys are here. Evil Sneaker first, my man. Appreciate you. This was at 5 o'clock, so my man showing support early. Movie Canon, hey guys, not sure if I wanted to be able to watch the live tonight, but just wanted to drop by real quick. Hit the like button, everyone. Appreciate you, Gio. If you guys haven't seen the Movie Canon stream, do yourself a favor, go check out his channel. Wonderful, wonderful guy, as well as Evil Sneaker. Some guy, the GOAT in this community, representing everybody. What's up? I will catch the replay. Have a great time. Appreciate you, brother. Got the Jedi's Night Watch. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Graham. Rick Artemis, my man. What's up, bro? What's up, broskies? Ben Thomas. Hey, everyone. What's up, Ben? Collector Joey, my man. Let's see. Cylon's in the house. What's up, Cylon? Appreciate you dropping by. Let's see. How you figure? A credible source told me that Graham will have Batman and Robin in his top three.
This
I'm
guy is
interested to see if
everywhere
it's true.
lately.
I was about to say, yeah, I've seen him on Copper Drop. Renz Talentino, my man. Good to see you in here, bro. Appreciate you dropping by. Love this. Every time I see this Homelander picture, I'm like, beauty. What a beauty,
So
man.
good.
Although I rank the top Batman figures I really like. You know what? Robin is a goated, man. What is your favorite Robin, Graham?
Figure or character?
Just character.
Honestly, it's probably the 66.
66. Okay. I like that.
Okay, I believe that's Burt Ward.
Burt Ward, yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Ben?
Oh, I don't know. It's a good question. I love the Batman the animated series Robin still, I think the most. I grew up on the Batman the animated series, but
Nice.
I got to give an honorable mention to Chris O'Donnell because I watched him a lot as a kid as well, and he was a good Robin, I think, for what he was.
So I say he kind of brought like the first almost serious kind of Robin, even though those movies are somewhat goofy. Like he brought that like I don't know.
He was
somewhat...
really the total package.
Right. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Like that. I like all his Robins. I feel like for me, I would probably have to go with Damian Wayne. I like the almost kind of like little punk kid who's just Batman's son, who's just like, yo, Batman's my dad, but also he's got a lot of good character growth to him as well. Let's see. I think Who Knows is in the house. What's up? Who Knows? Good to see you. I think, wait, that is Ryland. So good to see that is Mrs. Spotchka's little boy. So good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Jose G. Hernandez. What's up, fellas? Good to see you. 12-inch Moose Stream. What's up, Moose? Hello, community of collectors. The Ben Thomas Show. Yo. Let's see. Look at that sleeve. I was about to say, look at that sleeve, Graham. I like you busting out the tattoos and the Batman in the background. I like it, bro.
This will probably be the only time you guys see me sleeveless. It's fresh ink today, so
What you get?
it's very tender. So I've been working on something since November, and it's a buffalo portrait here, and then silhouettes of buffalo kind of grazing, and then today we worked on mountains with the trees, but we did not finish, so I have to go back in 2 weeks to finish. So I'm getting a little bummed because I'm getting tired of going in, spending a bunch of money, and not getting it, completed. But the buffalo is like basically my favorite animal, and it symbolizes strength and perseverance. I mean, obviously, the buffalo was almost wiped out completely, so just the perseverance of that, and then just the connection it has with Native Americans. I have a little bit of Native American in me. I wouldn't consider myself a Native American, but like I love the connection that they have, and how that bond was. And I love going out west for vacations, South Dakota, Wyoming. So that's kind of what the meaning is for me. And then the 4 buffalo on the bottom represent myself, my wife, and then my 2 kids.
I love that, dude.
That's
I love
awesome.
that. I love that it has such a deep meaning behind it too. Like,
Right.
some people get tattoos and it's, like Austin, for example, he got a Freddy Krueger tattoo, right? And it looks badass. He's like, I got it because I love Freddy Krueger. So
Yeah.
I like both deep meanings and just fun
Sure.
reasons. Let's see. Did we miss anybody in the chat? I got Mrs. Spotchka in the chat. Like, hey, good to see you here. Good to see you here. Let's see. Doc Bat. Hey, yo, what's up? What's up? I like the profile picture, bro. Yeah, man. So I'm very, 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 very excited for the tonight, guys. A lot of work was into tonight. A lot of reminiscing too, right? Because I've been a fan of Hot Toys since 2012. So to go back and look at everything that's came out since 2024, it's crazy. So with that being said, guys, we got Adrian Cervantes. Yeah, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Tyler FL can't beat Wyoming vacations. Good. 10 tons Yellowstone. Yeah, man. I haven't seen that name in a while. Good to see you, man. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get started. This first one we have here is going to be the Arkham games. We have some Arkham ones and the other ones, but for this one, I wanted to start off with the Arkham Prestige. Now, Ben, what is your relationship with the Arkham games? How you feel about this figure, man?
Oh, I love the Arkham games, dude. I've put so much time into them. Arkham Asylum is still easily, I think, my favorite. Honorable mention to Arkham City, though. I mean, I put a ton of time into that game. New Game Plus, platinumed it. Absolutely loved it. So when these figures were announced, I was very, very excited, as you can imagine.
Of course, man. So how you feel about, I guess, maybe out of these 4, I guess these 3 Arkham video game figures, what is your favorite out of these? How would you rank them?
So I've owned all 4 over time. I would say the Arkham Knight version, I think was my favorite. Just in terms of construction, in terms of posability, the way the figure really looked in the display, really ominous presence. A little bit on the large side, I will say, larger than a lot of the movie realistic figures. Especially, I put him next to my DX12 at one point. And it was shockingly different, like head and shoulders higher or taller. So I would say if these are ones that people are considering trying to chase down, keep that in mind. Maybe have a video game display version, of your display, not necessarily mixed in with the movie guys, but it's cool.
Gotcha. Okay. What about you, Graham? How you feel about the Arkham games and these figures?
Yeah, so I don't have a whole lot of skin in the game when it comes to the Arkham stuff. I did play the first couple, but this was back in the day when they were, they were new and they were fresh. So I've seen them on like PS5, like for sale and stuff. I've considered getting them and kind of playing them again and going throughout all of the games, but haven't pulled the trigger yet. I'd love them to kind of remaster these, but I do like, I think it's the Prestige, the Arkham Prestige. I like that one out of the 3. So it's tough for me too, because I'm a big Batman fan, but I want the movie accurate stuff. I want what's on film. So again, even if I think, wow, if I really love the games, I still don't know if I would get these figures. But who knows? I guess that could change. But am I giving you my rank of all these 4 right now, or
we can go ahead and do that.
1?
Yeah, so
it's got to be Batfleck, just because
Batfleck.
it's movie accurate. I love Batfleck. I love that suit, and it's to me it was like the most comic accurate suit. I love the beefiness of the suit and the short ears and just the cowl. It that's the one that really kind of speaks to me. So, and you get that cool underwater like breathing apparatus, and then you get the wired cape and stuff like that. So it's a really great figure. And then I would probably go like the Prestige second, and then I think the Arkham City would actually be my least favorite.
Really interesting.
Maybe the Arkham Knight because it's pretty busy. It's got a lot going on, but I'm not a big fan of the Arkham City one either, just because it's tough too. Because again, I'm looking at movie accurate, so like the proportions are more video game and stuff like that. So
Right.
that's kind of where I stand. Like this is probably the one where I don't have much of an opinion, just because it's been years since I played the games.
Right. Right. What about you, Ben?
I would say the Arkham City one probably had the worst posability of all these figures for sure.
Yeah.
He was very much a stand in position figure. I would say I would give it to Arkham Knight as my first pick, the
Interesting.
Batfleck as my second pick, Arkham Prestige as a third, and Arkham City as the fourth, despite my love for Arkham City.
I was about to say, man, I love Arkham City. This is a figure that I wish would get a 2.0 release, especially after the death of Kevin Conroy, right? So,
It's
Right.
heartbreaking.
exactly. And in this game, and growing up, I loved the Arkham games. Arkham Asylum and Arkham City was my jam, bro.
Mhm.
Like, before this is a time before I got into Grand Theft Auto 5, or at least was old enough to play Grand Theft Auto 5, and a lot of open world games to me were new. So to see an open world Batman, like gothic, like very very like kind of like punk rock kind of Batman game, oh yeah, I was all over it. So for me, my ranking, I'm also gonna put the Ben Affleck one on top just because I love Ben Affleck. I think this at least as far as costume wise and I guess figure wise is a little bit of an upgrade from the BVS one because like you said, the wired cape and whatnot. I don't remember these other two suits from the games too much just because it's been so long. But in terms of like aesthetic wise, I'm gonna probably have to put Ben Affleck on top, Arkham City number 3, and then Arkham Knight number 2 for Arkham City, number 3 Arkham Knight, number 4 Arkham Prestige. Just because the gold on the Batman is cool and whatnot. It's just I don't think it screams Batman when I think of gold. So
Now, a couple
thank you guys
people,
so much for your thoughts on that one.
couple people asking in the chat about the Batman Beyond figure as well.
Yeah,
That was a cool one that I had as well.
that might come
Huge
up.
figure. Might come up. Okay, cool. I didn't know. I didn't know if it should be in this slide. Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
here we go.
Never mind.
So the next
Okay.
slide we got is we got some more Arkham games mixed in with
Let's
the Imposter Joker mixed in with the
Oof.
Batman Begins Scarecrow Nightmare.
This is going to be a hard one to read.
Yeah, man. I was about to say, I made the first one pretty easy, and the rest of these are going to be
Yeah.
a little harder. So, yeah. So go ahead, Graham. What do you think for this one? Give your thoughts on the Future Knight or any of these you want to pick out first.
Did Graham step away for a sec?
I think maybe so. You can go ahead and go, Ben.
I can go ahead. That's a good question. So the Scarecrow Nightmare Batman, that one had some serious presence in my collection, but I ended up selling that pretty quickly after getting it because I didn't like the aesthetic with the Scarecrow. I ended up selling it, and I regretted selling it afterwards. I actually watched Jedi Knight's Watch video. He did 5 figures I regret selling and then tried to get back. That's
Mhm.
one that I sold, and then about a year later, I was like, man, do I regret selling it? So, of these figures, I would have to go back and say that the Scarecrow Nightmare is probably my favorite in this list. I did not love Jared Leto's Joker. I just didn't like him, unfortunately. So, as cool as the imposter Batman looks in person, I recently saw this at my comic store the other day in person. I took a cool short of it actually because like seeing it up close is really intense, really colorful. It's still probably pretty low on the list.
Yeah.
I think I would have to give it to Scarecrow Nightmare number 1. I think I would have to give second place to Batman Arkham Knight, the Batman Beyond. I loved that figure in hand. He was really cool. Again, just head and shoulders taller than the next movie scale Batman that I had. The XE Batman I've never seen in person or had in my collection, but I love the look of that figure. I love the beefiness in the game. It was such a cool looking suit. So that would be my third choice. I've never seen the Futura Batman in person, but that one looks really, really cool as well. But I think I would go still with the Imposter Batman as 4 and Futura as 5.
Good picks, man. I was about to say, I think I've seen the XE Batman in person at Replay, and it's a unit. It is ginormous, dude. Even the box for it's pretty big.
And
What
I've
about
heard
you,
it has
Graham?
better flexibility than you'd expect, considering.
Yeah, I was supposed to say because it's got the
Right.
fabrics on there and whatnot too, so it's not like it's like the Demon Batman where it's a lot of rubberized suit, right? Where you can't do too much with the posing. But yeah. What about you, Graham?
Yeah, sorry I had to step away there for a second, but really quickly before I give my ranking, Spotchka, I see you got your Catwoman pretty early. Just a quick 30 seconds. What are your thoughts on it?
Dude, so everybody's worry about the suit. I'm not gonna lie, it seems pretty valid, right? So let me see if I can put the mic down for a second.
Yeah, I worry about the pleather, but
Yeah,
I'm okay not really posing her either if I don't need to, I guess.
it's pretty nice, but like at the same time, I don't think I'll ever take it out of this pose, right? And initially, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna
Nice.
get the bat pod for it. I would not recommend leaving her on the bat pod unless you're okay with like never switching it out of that pose. Like I was saying with Austin, like he doesn't like repose his figures often, and that's a lot of people, right? But for me, I repose maybe once a month.
Sure.
So far, no damage, but we will have to see.
Did you see D Knight's video where like right out of the box he had something
Yeah.
like catcher
Scratch on
and
the arm,
Yeah, I was supposed to, and I felt bad because like he said in the video that that was like his friend or
Especially.
something, and I was like, that sucks. But hopefully, like the other batches are better about that. But I
Yeah.
think either he or somebody said like you could always like get sculpted like boots and I guess arms for it. And
Yeah, I was wondering if anybody would do leather, like a leather mod too down the road.
I
So-
could honestly, I would like to see that down the road because I would
Yeah.
honestly invest. But yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
figure, but I would wait for a good sale for.
Yeah, it's
then-
one I want, but I'm kicking back and forth just because of those issues. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I saw it in the background, so I had to ask before I forgot about it. So
That's a
I-
flex with Catwoman.
I think for this one, I have not owned any of these, nor have I seen any of them in hand. So I'm just going by, photos I've seen, videos that I've seen. But I would probably go with the Scarecrow Batman as my number one. And again, it's because it's from a movie that I really like, Batman Begins, and it's a cool look too. It's like that demonized Batman, and he's kind of like melting or burning or just deteriorating almost in front of your eyes. So that would be, I looking at it, I'm kind of like, why didn't I ever get that one? Maybe because it's not necessarily a necessity, but it would be one down the road that I wouldn't mind having. And I think last would be this the Joker Batman. It just creeps me out. It's just not something that reaches me, with the grill and everything. And yeah, so that would be last. And then the other three are really close because again, I really don't have any skin in the game. This one does look cool. I believe this was the XE, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tank and it's kind of cool. It's almost reminds me a little bit of like a Nightmare Batman. Obviously not the same, but just it reminds me of kind of like it would be in that family of like the Nightmare Batman, just different and something you don't see all the time. Just so many plates of armor. So I'm gonna go with the XE as my number 2, and then these other two look a lot alike. Can you go back to the
Futura?
panel of them?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I think I would go Batman Beyond. I'm gonna go Batman Beyond, and then Future Night, and then Imposter would be last. So I'd still go Scarecrow again. It's just something that I have more of a connection to. I love that trilogy. It's probably one of the best trilogies ever made. Not the best, but one of them.
100%. Yeah, I agree with you. I was about to say Scarecrow Nightmare. You get a lot with that set. You get a Scarecrow figure with that. Not like that, you get a pretty cool. I've seen this one in person. You get this like really rubberized, scary looking Batman figure. And if you have like a more horror centric focus collection, like let's say
Right.
you're only into horror, you only have sideshow horror figures, and you want to get a Batman, this would be a perfect Batman to integrate into that collection. So that's definitely number 1 for me. Number 2 is going to be Batman Beyond suit. I think this suit looks pretty sick. Plus, the cartoon's always badass. I think it's a little bit of nostalgia there. I know it's not the game, but either way.
Mhm.
XE at number 3, it's just a unit, man. That thing looks sick. And I'm kind of with you. It does kind of look like the Nightmare version in a sense. Kind of looks like you would find him in like, this looks like a Killer Croc kind of fight Batman suit. I don't know. Then Futurist suit at number 4, and of course Imposter Batman at number 5. Yeah, I don't know. Like I think Dean Knight and a few other collectors have had this Imposter Batman over time. And I don't know. Like besides reviewing it, I don't know who. I'm not judging anybody who would want to keep it in their collection, but I don't know anybody personally that has kept this one in their collection. So, yeah, thank you guys so much.
It's almost like the WB 100. Like obviously that one's limited, so it's got that going for it. But at the same time, it's like maybe like a hardcore Batman fan just to have all the variants, almost like Iron Man. Like, you just want a different look.
Yeah,
but yeah,
as many Batman suits as you can get.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say about the Batman Beyond, I could not keep the hands on that figure. Every time I would shift his position slightly, his hands would pop off. It friggin' drove me nuts.
Damn.
It's one of those things.
Let's look at the hands on that one.
Yeah, it was just like where the gauntlet would come up. You just couldn't get like the hand pressed in with the gauntlet as well. And he would just, like as I said, you just turn it slightly and his hand would pop off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Suit
Cool
looks
figure otherwise, though.
right.
Really cool figure.
So this next one, guys, it's the Ben Affleck selection. All right, Nightmare Batman's not in this one. He's in another one. But in front of us here, we have the armored version, the why did you say that name? The MMS 417. We're also going to be talking about the regular one without the broken mask and spear. But we also have the Justice League version, the BVS one, and the Black Chrome edition of the armored version. Graham, I know you have this one.
Oh, yeah.
The Tactical 2.0 from the Zack Snyder Justice League. So, gentlemen, what do we think about this panel?
Tough one.
So, are we just ranking each one and then that's the rank? Are we then pinning the number ones against each other? Are we doing like a bracket thing, or are we just kind of going through each one?
We're going to go through each one, but also like from
the
one
reason
to the last is like your least into your best, right? So
right. Because the reason I ask is I ranked the Suicide Squad Batman number 1 and that other one, and I would probably rank the BVS one number 1 here, but do I want to do that if like I'm then pinning them against each other? So I don't know. Like that's tough because this BVS one was my first ever Hot Toys figure, and this is what started the craze and the addiction, I guess. and I still think it looks good. Like I'm gonna get the 2.0, but I still think this is no slouch. But then that black chrome, I actually really like the black chrome more than the film accurate armored Batman. And it's not because like the black chrome, it's got a little shine to it, but it's not like a Death Watch trooper, or not a Death Watch, Death Trooper, or like one of those chrome stormtroopers. It's not that chromy. It's just black with a little bit of shine, and it just highlights the scratches and everything. It almost looks like when Superman
wet.
comes down and he sees him, like it's just dark. Like it just looks like it's wet and dark. So
yeah,
that's why I really like this one. So like, I know for sure those are my 1 and 2. I just don't know what order. The battle damage would actually be my least favorite.
interesting.
I've just it's kind of a cringe scene. I've learned to accept it now, kind of looking back at it, like it's okay. But the figure itself, something about just like seeing half of his face, I just don't like. I just love this. I love this black chrome, but I gotta go BVS number 1 just because it's the suit that I love. I go black chrome as my number 2, and then I haven't owned the Justice League or the Tactical, but I'm gonna go Justice League 3, then Tactical, and then last would be the battle damage for me.
I like those picks.
And I believe I will be in the minority with the black chrome, by the way, too, because I don't think a lot of people appreciate that one, or just have the love for that one, because it isn't film accurate, and it's armor. So,
how about you, Ben?
All good takes, buddy. I disagree with you though on the Ben Affleck face one. I get the scene wasn't that great, but I think it's different. I like that you can kind of see his half face through there. I feel like Ben Affleck often really just is accentuated by his kind of mouth plates that
Hmm.
you see with the other figures, and some of the face plates on those are just not ones that I totally love. So I would agree with you that BVS would be my favorite, number one. I never got that one in hand. My buddy had it. I've got the 2.0 pre-ordered, so excited to get that as my first BVS Batman. But I would say Black Chrome, I think, would actually be my second favorite, just for the aesthetic mostly, not because of the film accuracy, obviously, like you said, but it's just a badass looking figure. Really, really cool. Now, it loses the Ben Affleck in the mouth plate for me just a little bit though. Like there's some kind of narrowness in the face or in the
I
skull,
heard technically
in the
it's not
cowl.
him.
Oh,
Really?
is it a
It's
stunt
the
double?
like they did
Okay,
with the Flash Batman.
interesting.
That's what I've
It,
heard. I
that would make sense then, because it doesn't totally look like Ben Affleck to me in cowl. So, but I like the armor, so that's badass. Then I would say Battle Damaged is my third favorite, and then Tactical I think would be my fourth, and the Joss Whedon Justice League version would be fifth.
I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna say I'm just gonna swap Tactical and Justice League as well, but I'm still gonna have Battle Damage as my least favorite.
All right.
Good picks, gentlemen. Good picks. I would say personally, I love that Black Chrome edition, man. That Black Chrome one, out of all of these, is probably my favorite, just because
Cool.
I don't care about the screen accuracy to that movie. You're right; it does look like when Superman comes down, he's just like, and it's just all raining down and it's dark. And it looks
Good
dope,
scene.
dude. And this is this is definitely a Batman figure that's going to be on the list to hunt for. So that's number one. I do own the Justice League version up here, and I think it's actually a pretty solid figure in hand. Despite its like little flaws, I still enjoyed it on the shelf. And then I'm gonna put the BVS Batman, and then Tactical Suit, and then the armored Batman regular version, just because I do prefer that Black Chrome version, man. It just looks more badass on the shelf.
Mm.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for your thoughts on that one. This next one, we get into the Bale universe, man, to the Dark Knight universe. So this first one, we got the 2.0 of the Begins version. Then we got the quarter scales, and then we have the WB100 and the DX19. So, Graham, what do you think?
Yeah, this is interesting. I did own the 1.0 of the quarter scale. I know it's pretty much the same, other than the base and then the paint apps. I do own the DX19 and the Begins 2.0. So,
Did you customize your Begins 2.0 or did you leave it as stock?
so that's a long story. It's not that long. I bought that around the October sales for Sideshow. I think I got it for like all in $160.
Oh,
At
nice.
that price, I was like, okay, I'll do it, and then I'll just customize it. So, I don't like bad mouthing anybody, but I went and ordered the cowl and the cape from OT Customs. But then he was starting to put that stuff on Instagram and stuff about slowing down and
okay.
too busy and stuff. And the problem I had was the cape was in stock, but it never shipped after like 2 months, and said 3 to 5 day shipping. So then I was like trying to get a hold of them, and I couldn't get a hold of them, and I had to go through PayPal, all that stuff. So basically I was upset because I'm like, I bought this figure to customize it. I don't like how it looks. And then I was lucky enough though to go to 1/6 Kit, and I saw that he had Jackson cape and then a Jackson cowl for a lot cheaper. So I do have those ordered, but they're not here yet. They were pre-orders. So I am still hopeful that I can customize this, and get him to look how he did in the film. I don't want to go on a tangent here, but it just baffles me on how Hot Toys drops the ball with a bat. Like, I get DC,
It's
like
upsetting.
shit on DC, but like Batman, like, and it's not even a 1.0. Like, it's something you've done a few times. Like,
More than once. Yeah.
I don't get how you can't get the cowl right, or the suit, or the cape, or the gauntlets. But
I mean, I've probably researching this. I'm pretty sure this is like their third or fourth attempt at Begins. So,
right.
Like, come on, Hot Toys.
And if we're being
It
honest,
was a cowl too.
if we're being honest, the DX19 has some good flaws too. Not when I say good, like decent size flaws. Like,
Yeah.
people have customized that too. Like, and that one still looks respectable, but
Yeah.
like I don't know why it's so hard to get some of these figures right. So, anyways,
I feel your pain, dude. Yeah, I prefer the
Right.
Begin suit over the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises suit. Go
same.
ahead.
I like the Dark Knight suits, but he's a little too tactical or a little too sleek for me. Like it gets a little skinny. Like, you know, you want that beefy, bigger beast Batman. So, anyways,
I agree, dude. He has too many lines in the Bale suit, like for the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises suit. It's too many. I
Right.
don't know why he didn't get an upgraded suit in the third one.
I'm gonna go Batman Begins is my least favorite here.
Oh, okay.
Like the 2.0, yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's without
sorry.
customizing. That's just the stock figure.
Yeah, because this is stock.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then again, would I rather have that one or the WB 100? Because I still think the WB 100 is pretty ugly.
It is.
So
Defeats the whole purpose of
this is
existing in the
tough,
shadows.
Spotchka. Yeah, this is tough. You know, Begins 2.0 is just such a travesty. I'm gonna put it last because I'm just pissed off at it. So then I'm gonna put WB 100 ahead of it. So that would be number 4. I'm kind of going backwards here. Begins quarter scale would be 3, DX19 would be 2, and then the quarter scale would be number 1. The reason is obviously as you go quarter scale, it's a lot easier to capture those details in the figure. The base looks awesome. I thought the original quarter scale looked magnificent. It's just too hard for me to fit these quarter scales in my collection, so I did wind up kind of moving on from it. But I think that's what I would do here. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like
Thanks
those
for talking through it with me, guys.
Of
That's a good
course.
list. That's some pretty good reasoning right there.
See, why can't they get the
Um,
cowl to look like that? Come on.
Right?
Right.
Yeah,
Anyway.
It's a
it's
shame.
crazy. Yeah, I think the Batman Begins 2.0 is insulting to most Batman fans and collectors.
And the
at this
mouth
point.
plates too. That was the other part we really don't talk
They're
about.
just
But like those
mind-blowing.
crazy ass mouth plates.
The one that was like,
Yeah, and like because I was looking at it at Christmas time myself, and Canadian dollars is a little more money for me, so I think I was going to be able to get it for something like 260, 280 or something like that Canadian dollars, plus another $300 to customize it. And I was like, oh man, it's getting to be too rich for my blood. But I've wanted a Begins figure for a while, so it sucks. But of this list, I would say the Dark Knight quarter scale is my favorite. I loved that base. I loved seeing Heath Ledger's face and Bane's face and
That's cool.
Ra's al Ghul. I think that's really cool. Like you said, Jedi, the details on this thing was really, really good. It's funny because even here with this quarter scale, he still has that elbow issue, like with his
Oh, yeah.
with
Yeah.
the articulation, how it sticks out, just like the 6 scaled. But so he'd be my favorite. And then I would say, can you go back to all the screens again? Sorry, buddy.
yeah, Mike.
I don't know if I've seen enough of the quarter scale Begins figure in hand, but is that this one?
Yeah.
It's pretty freaking cool.
Especially, I would say the cowl does look better on the, for
Does
whatever
look
reason,
better.
the cowl on the quarter scale version than
And the
the
cape
one.
drape looks nicer as well.
Yeah, the
Okay, I'm
cape-
going to give this one as my second for likeness to Batman Begins and the cape drape. I think that looks good. Dark Knight DX19 would be third favorite. I would say I had the DX12. I still have it. I ended up putting the Armory head sculpt on that one.
That's what I did originally.
Yeah,
And it helped a lot.
And a Jackson Chu cape, and it looks so good. So I've stuck with that. I haven't even upgraded it to like a new figure yet, but I would mod this DX19 to lower the head just a little bit in the body. That helped a lot and changed the cape, but otherwise I think it's still a really, really good, really, really strong character or figure, I should say. So that would be third. The WB100 Batman, or you think darkness is your ally, right? Well, it's like, well, you're going to see this guy in the shadows, no problem. So but still, I like it more than I like the Batman Begins 2.0. So it's fourth, and Batman Begins 2.0 is fifth. So,
I like it.
Superpower is just blinding you.
yeah.
That cowl.
Yeah.
So I say it really does, dude. Look at that. Like that's.
I
You
still,
know what I thought?
I still honestly think we only got this because they had too many extra
Right? They just,
DX19s in
Get the
stock.
paint gun out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I thought about
Wait.
swapping the blue pieces with black and having like this extra light. But then I saw You can't really do that though, because even if you took the neck piece out, you do have like the collar piece that I think is fixed in. So, but that would have been kind of cool too. Or putting the blue pieces on that dark black suit, maybe just to kind of experiment. But again, I think that collar would get in the way there.
If they had done this color scheme with almost any other Batman that exists, I think it would have been cool. With this suit, it just didn't make sense to me. If you put this on the BVS Batman, I think it could look cool. Even the Keaton Batman, I think you could make it look cool, especially if you did like the yellow emblem with the blue cowl, right? Even the Val Kilmer Batman that I've got behind me, you put him with the blue cowl in there, I think that could look cool. I don't know.
I think you're onto something there with the extra DX19s. I really do.
Well, especially because they had just
Hot Toys
announced
is
the
lazy.
Armory Batman. Well, they announced their Armory Batman and said, look how much better this one is over the DX19. All you people getting the DX19, we get an upgrade. So I bet a lot of people canceled their orders. Put the Morbius bats in there as well. It's pretty sweet.
Right. Dude, yeah, that's good selection, because I honestly, and I watched Justin's review of the WB100 one, and it doesn't look any better in hand. I don't think. I don't think that it's. I'm not judging anybody who likes it, but again, BVS would have been the better option, I think, to use for that color scheme, because Ben Affleck's suit's already kind of like that comic accurate, like big bulky Batman. So whatever, right? My list.
Sorry, and it's limited, but if anybody wants to find it, I believe it is at or under retail in like Toys Buying Agent and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you really want it, it can be had.
It says a message that it's under retail at TBA. But my list, man, I'm gonna say WB100's at the bottom, just because why? And then I'm gonna put Begins 2.0 next to it at number 4, only because eventually if you did some upgrades it would look cool, but as a stock figure, yes, it's pretty shit. And then I'm gonna go with the DX19 at number 3. Number 2, I'm gonna do the quarter scale 19, just because I prefer that Begins suit. And then number 2 is gonna be the quarter scale Begins, and then our number 1 will be the quarter scale Begins, man. If I ever have the room to display a quarter scale Batman Begins figure, that would be sick. That would be cool, especially with just the cape dripping over, looking down on everybody. That would be sick.
And it's a standalone piece, like if you had it at your desk or something like that. It's, I don't know, maybe one day I will get this back and just have somewhere to put it. But I also didn't have a case for it either. I mean, I put it in a DTOF for a little bit, but then I moved on from those. So it just didn't work.
Thank you guys so much for your thoughts on that one. This next one.
Whoa. God.
Jesus.
Here we go. This is the...
Not only is this tough, but he put 6 in there. So.
Yeah. Right.
This one's the hard one. All right. So
Ben, go first.
Go ahead, Ben.
I see. Okay. Thinking this out here. So I've got the sonar suit. I do love it. Posability is horrendous.
Yes.
And honestly, in terms of Kilmer's, I would have liked to see the Panther suit, the black version, as opposed to the sonar. I still wonder if maybe we'll eventually get it, but this is hard, man.
I intentionally made this one the hardest.
Yeah. I think I'd have to put the sonar suit at the bottom for the posability and because it's not my favorite of the Kilmer suits, but I do still love the figure. And next to my Robin, I think he looks freaking awesome. But he'd still get position 6 at this point. I also have the Nightmare Batman. I don't love the jacket on it, but I've been able to futz it to the point where I haven't been motivated enough to buy the custom jacket. Marco from 16Fix keeps trying to talk me into it every time I
Which
send
one?
pictures of this one.
Which custom?
I want to say it's the Daft Toys.
Okay.
Daft Toys or Dark Toys. I can't remember exactly, but Marco will be able to tell you 100%. But I think it was Daft Toys. But honestly, this figure overall, really, really cool presence. I love the binoculars he comes with. The goggles are really cool. The gun is extremely brittle and it breaks really easily, so be careful if you ever get this. But it has like a Joker sticker on it and everything. It's really cool looking. But of these Batmen, I actually I'm gonna get hate for this. I think of these Batmen, the Affleck is still one of my least favorite Batmans. I still think I like the other Batmans more. So I think I'd put him at position 5. I'd put him, the 66 Batman, at position 3. Position 4.
Interesting.
He's super iconic. Super
Right.
iconic, right? Love Adam West. Love the look of this suit. But 66 is too old school for me. I've watched it all the way through a couple times with my brother because it's his favorite Batman. But it's just never stuck with me in the same way as newer versions or representations of the character. But still, if I were going to choose him over the others, I think I would put him in my collection over the other two, just to have that history of Batman in the collection. So I think that would be really cool. Third place. Sorry, can you go back to the main slides again, buddy?
Of course.
Oof, man, final 3 is hard, real hard. I don't
I'm getting
have
nuts.
I don't have Vengeance in hand yet. I've got him through InArt, so I decided to go that route over the Hot Toys version. But I've seen some really great video. Collector Joey had a great shots of him as well. Batman Returns is awesome. The 89 suit is awesome. Yeah, you got it right there, Ace Butcher. That's cool, buddy. I've got the 89 2.0 in order, so I'm really excited to get that one. I got the gargoyle and everything, so I'm excited to see what that looks like. But I think I got to give it to Vengeance being third place, Returns being second place, and Keaton 89 being first place. I grew up on 89 Keaton Batman. That with the animated series, I love both of them to death. And Returns is it's such a nostalgic suit for me, even still, and movie that while it's a little bit more like a horror movie from Tim Burton with Batman just in it, it's still a really cool film, and I love the suit. So yeah, I think that's where I gotta lay the line. That was a hard.
I like that
list.
though. I like that ranking though, because it makes sense. I know it was gonna be hard, but
Nostalgia gets me every time.
100%. I figured that Keaton would be number 1 though. What about you, Graham?
Are we? We're not ranking anything that's on pre-order, right? Because it's not out.
No.
Like, is there a loophole here where if I rank this 89 lower because it's the 1.0, but I could rank the 2.0?
For this listing at the moment, the 2.0 doesn't exist.
All right, it doesn't exist. Okay.
Yes.
So no loophole. Okay. Because I was going to use that. I think Ben's right. Last place is easily the Sonar suit. Least favorite Batman on this list. Least favorite figure on this list. Least amount of posability on this list. Looks good though. It does look good. Aesthetically, Batman and Robin look great. If you're just having them standing there, they look awesome. But the way that the rubber suit bunches, the way that it bubbles up and peels when it rubs on itself, it's problematic. But yeah, so that would be last. Now, might get some hate for this, but I'm gonna go Adam West would be number 5.
Ooh.
And he is iconic. Excuse me. He is iconic. However, it is still a bit before my time. I have owned this figure, and I have moved on from it because it just didn't hit me the way that I thought it would, and I think that says a lot for the Batman fan that I am, that I kind of was okay letting this thing go. So I think he would be 5, and then can you shoot me back to the and then the rest, the next 4 are number 1. I'm gonna say, I hate to do this, but there's 2 Keatons here. One's Returns, one is the 89, obviously. I always like the cowl better on Returns, but I like the overall suit better on 89. I'm gonna make Batman Returns number 4, and it's because the suit pissed me off recently where I broke one of the gauntlet fins. Yeah, so I just bumped it, and so that's irritating. So I'm gonna give it a little knock for that. So that's gonna be number 4, and then 3. I think I would have to go. I think I'd have to go the Batman, and it's a great figure, but it, like you said, it doesn't have that nostalgia factor yet. It's a kick-ass movie, kick-ass figure. Well done. Not too many complaints about it, other than um, it was really hard to get the Pattinson portrait on there. I think I had one. The base too. I just didn't know if I needed the base, the deluxe base, because I didn't know if I was going to use it because I have the bat cycle. So having him on a step with whatever. So he'd be number 3, and then number 2. I hate to do this. Number 2 would have to be Nightmare because I can get another Batfleck somewhere else. So but this was such a cool scene in this movie. I love seeing a Batman, instead of having a cape, he has a trench coat, and he has guns, and he's in the desert with the bandana. It's so cool to see. I just and like you said, Ben, the goggles and everything. So this is really great. But the coat it's better than the 1.0, but at the same time, you do need a custom coat, and I do have the 1/6 kit one, which is also really, really good. And then number 1 would be 89 Batman. I did have some problems with the 1.0, and I think the 2.0 is fixing that. But overall, yeah, just the nostalgia factor. This is the first movie I saw in the theater with my dad. 89 Batman. I was 4 years old, and I still think it stands up to this day too. And I love the suit. I love the Burton take. So yeah, 89 would be number 1. Nightmare would be 2. Vengeance would be 3. Returns 4. The OG 5, and then Sonar 6. That was tough. I didn't like that.
Yeah, that was a hard one.
That was really
Nightmare
well
Batman
done.
was higher than on your list than I expected, though.
Which one?
It's a Nightmare Batman. I love that figure.
It's one of my
awesome.
favorite figures, actually. If you ask me about this tomorrow, though, this might be completely different. So who knows?
This will be fun and introspective to look back and see which ones, like maybe change over time. For me, man, I'm gonna have to go at number 6. Y'all are gonna hate me for this one. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm just kidding. Sonar Forever. Of course, this rubber suit looks terrible over time. I currently have mine just doing its thing. I'm probably never going to repose it. Just leave it as is. See what happens over time. And then I'm going to have to go with Nightmare from the other side. This figure, besides its jacket flaws, it does look pretty sick. I don't have as much of an attachment to Nightmare Batman as much as, per se, everyone else. Only because of, when I register Batman in my head, I never really associate him with a gun. So to see him strapped up with a pistol on his side and an AK-47 or a scar, whatever he's got on him, I'm like, it's cool, but I'm like, that's not Batman. So, and then I'm gonna go with Adam West one. Tomorrow night, me and Mrs. Spotchka, I'm actually watching Batman 66 for the first time.
Oh, really?
A lot of Spotchka, if you get my flow, and I'm gonna have a good time with it. We're gonna do a double feature of this and Batman and Robin. So that's going to be for that one. And then I'm going to do Batman Returns probably for that next one, just because I think I overall prefer the suit design for 89 more. Returns still has a really dope design, but I overall prefer the cowl on the 89 one. I like the symbol on the 89 more, and overall just the shape of it, right? Because the shape of Batman's very important. And then number 2. Oh, this is hard, man. Because I grew up with 89 Keaton, right? I wasn't born in, I know I'm a youngin', all right? I wasn't born in the 80s or the 90s and didn't have enough time to appreciate it as much as everybody else. But growing up, this was Batman for me. This was the first one that I was introduced to, that and Kevin Conroy. So, gonna have to put 89 at number 2. And I'm going to put Robert Pattinson as number 1, just because The Batman is my favorite Batman movie. I like the overall just dark noir detective depiction of the character. Yeah. I love that it's a serial killer depiction of the Riddler. I love how everything feels nasty and grimy, right? The one concern and problem that everybody had with the Nolan trilogy, right, was that there was no grime in Gotham. A little bit in Batman Begins, but after that, it just looked like New York City.
Sure.
So I love that what Matt Reeves is doing. So that's 100% gonna have to go with Matt Reeves as the Batman at number 1, just because the overall tailoring on the suit. I mean, for everybody who's still waiting for their NR 1, this thing still looks sick, man. I am blown away with the amount of love and care that went into this. It's crazy because I have this figure posed right next up to Catwoman, a figure that they could have put a lot more care into, but we won't get into it right now. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for your thoughts on that one.
And it's like,
Tough one.
if you look at that panel, there's very different figures. And
Yeah.
like, again, it's like picking a favorite food. Like Vengeance is like pizza. God, I could eat pizza every day. But then 89 is like a steak, like totally different. And
Right.
it's so hard to like pin them against each other. It just depends, kind of what mood you're in that day. It's just, it's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
Also, so you said 66, first time you're going to be seeing that, huh?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I did watch that growing up, Ben. I'm sure you watched the movie growing up.
66? Oh, I watched the movie. Yeah.
So like,
That's my
it's
brother's
very
favorite.
campy, but like
Super campy.
watching it as a kid,
Shark
you're like,
spray?
I remember that and it was fun. So I am curious on how Spotch is gonna like react to it. Like, is it gonna be totally stupid or will he enjoy it? Like, because he doesn't have that childhood memory to like cling to,
I think he'll have fun with it. I think he'll have fun with it.
It is
try to
good.
go into it with the lens of it's 1966. There is no Nolan trilogy. There is no Michael Keaton Batman, right? There is no MCU, right? We've become so oversaturated with CGI and just we've been eating good for the last 20 years, y'all. Like we've been getting blockbuster after blockbuster, even if it's a flop. They put a lot of money into these movies now. So I'm taking it back to a time where they didn't have all the money in the world. They didn't have big special effects. They were just
They didn't even have the weight room.
They didn't have the weight room. They just had a bunch of drugs and a bunch of costumes, and they just made magic. So exactly what's going to happen tomorrow night. And with that in mind, I'm going to go with Mrs. Spotchka and check out Batman 66, along with Batman and Robin, because I've not seen that in well over 20 years.
Like you're meaning the George Clooney one, obviously, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Of course.
Bad debit card. Never leave the cave without it.
Never leave the cave without it. And the skates that just... for some reason we thought it was a good idea to install skates in these boots, but they worked out.
That's you know what caused me to want to
one-liners too.
Watch it is that video with Joel Schumacher where he's like, for everybody who loved Batman Forever and went into Batman and Robin with great anticipation, I'm so sorry. And I was like, that's the most sincere apology from a director I've ever heard, because he genuinely felt bad about.
I mean, I would still take a Poison Ivy figure though.
Dude,
and even with Bane, I mean, he again, not my favorite Bane by any stretch, but the two of them together, I think, could be cool in the display. Real cool.
Right. I think like aesthetically, Bane still looks pretty dope in that movie. Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I think what Mars Toys is doing with the Mr. Freeze figures, like Movie Canon just got that one in, and I think they're doing another. I forget what company's doing it, but it's with his like his feet out and he's wearing his robe.
Yeah.
Like all the figures from Batman and Robin look sick. So
yeah,
maybe down the road.
100%.
So this next one, now we get to talk about the upcoming releases.
Okay.
All the ones that are coming to us hopefully this year and the next year. All the ones that are going to be gifting and making our displays all spiffy. So, Graham, how would you rank these on the upcoming releases?
Yeah, this is tough, especially because the armory almost carries like an extra weight to it, being that you get all of this stuff.
Yeah,
but
Bruce Wayne.
Is it the best? Is the statue Bruce Wayne awesome? Is the DX-19? It's still that DX-19 style suit. It's the Dark Knight. So, but you do get the cool armory. Oh man, that's tough. I could tell you easily. It's easier to start backwards and I guess work your way up. So like my least favorite would be the Flash Batman, not Keaton, but that imposter of a squirrel-looking guy. I
specifically chose this picture too for that.
Gosh, I was so disappointed, and it sucks too because in the movie, the cape and the cowl is one piece, but you can't do that, with a figure. So there's really nothing you can do, but it just looks kind of hideous. I think the honeycomb suit style just looks terrible. He looks fat. It's not Ben Affleck. And even in the movie, I was like, this scene sucks. Like his mouth isn't even lining up to what he's saying. Like, this is just terrible.
Didn't even sound like him either.
No, it was. So yeah, he's last. And then oh man, it's tough because I think I'd have to go Keaton next. Old Keaton. Just because if you go back to let's see all of them again here. Let's just Um, I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go. Okay, so whoever that guy is last for Batman, and then
Whoever that guy.
I'm just gonna say none of these are bad, but 2.0 BVS just because it's a 2.0. I already have the BVS, and I think that looks great. Then I'm gonna go Flash Keaton. Then I'm gonna go. Gosh, I wish Ben would have went first because it's really tough because I really don't know. Because it's pre-order. You really don't know yet. But
Yeah.
part of me wants to say Keaton because I really want this figure. It means more to me. But does that make it the best figure? I don't. He does come with the diorama base if you get the deluxe, which is really nice. And they're fixing the cowl. The 1.0 had that piece that popped off so that you could articulate the eyes, but at least on mine, it didn't line up with the cowl. So you had a little, like a ledge or a lip there that was just kind of ugly to look at.
I don't know that.
The texture on this looks a little bit better too. I'm going to say, yeah, mouth plates are great. The paint apps will be better, but an armory, you get an armory. So,
But not the best armory. The Dark
That's
Knight
true.
Rises armory.
So I'm just going to go with my gut and say the armory is number 2, and this Keaton is still number 1 for me.
Yeah. What about you, Ben?
Well said. Yeah, definitely the Flash Batman is by far the lowest on my list here.
Is anybody getting it? Anybody here getting that?
No.
Dude, as somebody who's trying to make his own like little Batverse, this is going to be one of the. I would rather have the WB 100 Batman over this. I'm not going to lie. Like,
honestly, at least it looks like somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Like
and I would actually disagree with Jedi's Night Watch that I thought the scene when I saw it in the film was better than I expected, and so I thought that would make me like this suit more as a figure, and it still didn't. I still really didn't like it. So that's least on my list. Tough. I would say the Flash Keaton, the old Keaton, is probably 4th. So second lowest, mostly because I see Keaton in there for sure. I think that they could have done a little bit better with the paint job on the hair, at least for the prototype. We'll see how final comes out. But if I was going to put a Keaton Batman in my collection either way, it's the 2.0 89 that I've got coming. This felt still almost like an Elseworlds version of the Keaton that we knew and love. So I think I can keep him below on the list. But the suit did look cool. I did like the upgrades to the suit. I like that they still kind of kept some of the like the look of the original suit, but modernized it a little bit. I think it looks good. Again, it's a really tough list to choose from. But so yeah, fourth place. I'll give it 4th place for now. 3rd place would go to sorry, the list again, buddy. 3rd place would go to BVS 2.0. I don't have a 1.0. I'm excited to get the 2.0 in hand. I love how big he looks. Almost probably too big now that I've seen some comparison shots and some criticisms out there, but I still think he looks really cool, and I really, really see Affleck in the cowl. So I think that's really nice. And then the Dark Knight films are easily one of my favorite trilogies of all time. 100%. And while I would say that this is my least favorite armory, I think that this is the best representation that we've seen so far of the Batman suit from The Dark Knight. So I'm really excited for that. Also with the power pose Bruce Wayne, I mean, that'll be such a unique figure in the collection. Even though he's power posed, there's no other figure that I can have with crossed arms that looks like this. I think the likeness to Christian Bale is pretty solid. And overall, I think it's kind of just a fun display. It looks really cool. You get a lot for the money, especially now that we're seeing, this J&D ridiculously priced armory set. And then you see this, what was it, like $590 or something like that? Or
I believe so, yeah.
I think
something
so,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, like super well priced in comparison to what J&D is trying to give us. So yeah, no, this would be 2nd place, and then 89 2.0 is, I think, probably one of my most highly anticipated figures of the year, honestly. So I'm really, really excited for this one. So yeah, 2.0 would be.
Is there a possibility that might come out in spring?
I don't even know. I haven't been
I
keeping an
can't
eye on
remember
it, to be
either.
honest.
Thought it was somewhat soon. I know I've started
Mm.
sideshow payments for it, so
Make payments
Oh,
for it. Yeah, I can pull it up real quick.
I'm
See where
hoping
it's
that
at.
that's my next purchase for a Batman figure because the
It's so
2.0, I'm
cool.
going to go ahead and say is my most anticipated on this list right here, man.
Mm-hmm.
I never picked up the DX09 and was anxiously waiting for this one to come out. I was originally thinking about picking up that one, but then I was like, it was around the time the Flash was coming out. They were announcing this one, and I was like, that's badass, dude. The gargoyle you get with this thing,
mm-hmm.
uh, the Batmobile that they're gonna, I think that's for release 2, right? They didn't just tease that, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah, so the Batmobile's coming out, and I've never owned an '89 Batmobile, so that'll be my pretty sure my first Batmobile. Uh, and
you'll love it.
I'm gonna freaking love it, dude. It's intense, and all the accessories you get with this, the cape, everything looks better on this one. So that's gonna be number one. Number two,
Sorry to interrupt you, Spot. It says expected ship from Sideshow, at least if that's where you buy from, is April to September of 2024.
okay, so it's coming. It's definitely
Coming.
coming soon. Yeah, I would say Ben Affleck's 2.0 would be number two for me, just because I do think this is an improvement over the BVS one. I do like a bigger Batfleck, if you will. The base on this one's also incredible. I love how you can recreate the Dark Knight Returns pose right there. Yeah, man, love it, love it. And I also think that the cowls look extremely better on this one than they've done on any other Ben Affleck figure. So excited for that, and the head sculpts you get with this look incredible. All of it.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for this thing to come out. Armory, I'm gonna probably say I'm gonna put it number 3 because I don't own the original Armory, and while I agree with you, Ben, this isn't the best. You know, I think Dark Knight Rises one is compared especially to that Dark Knight one, because you've got the Dark Knight one, you can put the black tumbler next to it. This one, he was back in the cave, so kind of harder to put, I guess, a tumbler next to it, but you can still pull it off. The power pose Bruce Wayne is pretty sick, but I would much rather have a suited Bruce Wayne, I think, if in the collection rather than like a t-shirt and shorts kind of guy. And then I'm gonna say, yeah, this is gonna be last easily. I don't even need to say anything. Y'all pointed out all the picks for that one. This is like in the movie, like I kind of agree with both of you because Ben, it plays out better. I think the scene would have been exactly what the movie could have needed had it been at nighttime, right? Because it's in broad daylight. Even the Flash is like, why is Batman up? Like this is it's awkward. It's like this suit would probably look better at nighttime. I just wasn't a fan. The Bat Pod itself, even too, I just wasn't a fan of any of it. And then I'm gonna put the Flash Keaton suit probably at number 4. Only because I like the suit design, but also like would I want 2 Keatons in the display? Probably not. 89 for me is just okay. Unless they re-release a 2.0 Returns down the line, I would probably pick that up. But yeah, man, that's my pick. And thank you guys so much for your thoughts on that one.
So which ones are you guys actually like pre-ordering or thinking about picking up here?
I'm definitely going to pick up 2.0. Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, buddy.
No, you're good.
Yeah, 2.089 and 2.0 BVS are my 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
On this list. Yeah.
I would definitely pick up 2.0 BVS whenever it comes out. 89 Batman's going to be a day 1 TBA purchase. The Dark Knight Armory, maybe. It just depends because I'm thinking about doing a Dark Knight display differently than having an Armory in there, but with a tumbler. Not going to spoil what I'm going to do with that yet, but may or may not pick this up. If I can find it for a good price, possibly. And the other 2, maybe not. The Michael Keaton Flash one's actually pretty sick. What about you, Graham?
Yeah, I have the 2.089 pre-ordered. I do have Flash Keaton pre-ordered as well. And then I do believe I will keep my BVS Batman, but I think I will still get the 2.0 because I'm just that big of a fan of the suit and of Batfleck. And then considering the Dark Knight, the Armory, but it's a lot of money, and I'd almost rather just find the original for like a loose original just to kind of get a better price on it. So it's like a want but not necessarily a need. But yeah, for sure those three there are kind of gonna come home, and the Flash, Batman, maybe some other guy or some other time. It should be some other guy. He's the one that's not even a consideration, which is sad because it's Batman and I'm not even contemplating it.
The saddest thing is that's his last suit too. Like,
Right.
yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your thoughts on that. And
Yeah.
with that said, guys, that is all we have for the ranking. Thank you guys so much for ranking those with me. I'm going to briefly go ahead and go through what you guys got coming up on your channel. I know, Graham, you do Jedi Night Watch on Wednesday.
Yeah. So I just came out with a video. Yeah, it was my top 5 figures that I sold, but then realized I couldn't live without. So that dropped today. We do Wolfpack Wednesdays with D'Lo the Collector, Brick Artemis, and Evil Sneaker on Wednesdays at 9:30 Eastern. So come check that out. And then in the next coming weeks, I have the RGB Moducase lights sitting on my floor right here that I'm going to test and do a video on that. So we'll see how that goes. So I do have enough for like one set of cases, but I am leery about like, you know how like RGB doesn't necessarily always have like the true white. So I'm hoping like if I want to go true white, it still matches up with my other case. So we'll test that out. And then I did film a video that'll probably come out next week or the week after that I just have to edit. And it's another top 5. It's top 5 figures that I regret selling, like the ones I don't have and I just let go and it's eating me alive. So yeah, that's coming up on my channel. If anybody's watching and they haven't checked it out, feel free to do that. And yeah, give me a subscribe.
Yes,
But,
I need to add you guys' links in the description. I'll do that after the stream ends. But make sure you guys subscribe to the Jedi's Night Watch. Check out with the Wolfpack on Wednesday nights. Graham, Ben, I see that you got the Green Goblin there. What's going on?
Awesome.
So I don't know if this is like I felt so dumb. So I thought my rent payment didn't come out, and I was like, "What the hell? I'm up like $2,000. Like this is awesome, right?" Turns out I got paid on the same day my rent came out, so I was up money, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna put some money in savings, which you should always do, and then I was gonna go out and treat myself." And I was looking at the Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange, because I don't have a Doctor Strange in my collection yet, and then I saw this guy. And I'd had him in my basket like 3 times and taken him out like 3 times. And I'm like, screw it. Bought it. Love it. Awesome figure. So I've done a few shorts already. I'm going to put together a little, like, I don't know, somewhat like unboxing review thoughts video on it at some point this week. So just have some fun with it. Let's Get Nuts on Sunday. So live stream if you guys get an opportunity. I know it's the Super Bowl, so I'm sure my live audience will be a little lower than normal. But for those of you guys who either don't watch football or want something to watch after the game, Let's Get Nuts Sunday with the boys. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to be on the Movie Cannons show. It sounds like he's got some really fun games planned for us. So definitely excited to do that with him and be invited. And then, of course, I'll be on Collecting Weekly Tuesday with the boys over there every Tuesday going forward. So lots of fun. But Spotcha, thank you so much for having me, buddy. It was an honor getting a stream on your channel for once, which was great. Always welcome to Let's Get Nuts as well. And Jedi Night's Watch, Graham, we got to get you onto Let's Get Nuts one of these Sundays as well. Once football is done, I'm sure I'll be able to get a little bit more of your life. So
nothing personal.
Oh no, I know. So, but great streaming with you guys. It was really fun tonight.
Really quick question though,
What's
before we end this. So, what's your number one of all of these figures? What's your number one Batman? Even tougher than the ones we just did because now you're putting them all against each other.
Am I allowed to put the unreleased ones in there or no?
Sure. Yeah.
I think that the 89 Keaton 2.0 will be the best Batman ever released. What about you, Ben?
Hate to say it, but yeah, I think so too. Even though Christian Bale's Batman is my Batman, I think in terms of my favorite films, 89 2.0 is my most anticipated figure this year.
Same. What about you, Graham?
I probably should have asked the question if I can't even answer it myself, but it's really close between 89 Batman and just the BVS Batman. Just love them both. If I had to pick one though, honestly, nostalgia usually wins out, so it probably would be 89 2.0 coming out. But if I'm just looking at what's out there now, it'd probably still be 89, but it might be BVS too. So yeah,
I like that
and
all three of us are immediately like 2.0, 89.
yeah,
Yeah.
a sleeper
So
would be the
awesome.
Nightmare though. Nightmare Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Dude, are you okay? I guess my last question for that Nightmare Batman: would you pick up an NR Batman, Nightmare Batman?
Never say never. I don't think I don't think I'd need one because I do think the Hot Toys is really good. But hell, I mean, I have the Battinson and I'm pre-ordered the in art
Mhm.
because I could and because I want one, you know, with the cowl off to show the painted eyes. You know, I think that's a really cool look that we've never seen. So yeah, never say never, but I wouldn't plan on it.
I'll be excited to see your take on like comparison between the
Yeah,
in-art, the
Right.
Batman and the Hot Toys one once you get it
we'll
in
see if I
hand.
get
That'll
the in
be
art one this year.
yeah, well, yeah, right. Cross
Oh.
fingers.
Oh man.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming by. I know it's Friday night, and Ben, hopefully you feel better with COVID, man. And like these
Yeah, thanks,
gentlemen
man.
said, check out Let's Get Nuts Collecting Weekly and the Jedi's Night Watch with the Wolf Pack. Copper Drop on Thursdays, as always, guys. I will be returning on the Movie Canyons stream soon. I forget which day. I believe it's next Sunday. I'm gonna be defending my title against Yomo in the Figures Championship. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I know it was a shorter bit of a stream here. Just trying to respect everybody's Fridays here and other streams going on. But with that being said, guys, please drink your damn spotchka.
That's good.
See you guys.